What's up everybody, and welcome back to another episode of BH Brewing. I first want to apologise because it's been a long time since I posted one of these videos. I've just kind of been a bit busy with my life. So the beer I'm going to be making today is a beer that's going to include two new hops I've never tried before. One of them is Idaho 7. The next one is Callista. Both these hops I've never tried before, and I'm also going to include a bit of a BRU-1 or BRU-1, which is a hop I have used before and quite enjoy. This is going to be an interesting beer because I'm going to use no bittering hops whatsoever. All the bittering, all the hop additions, shall I say, are going to be done at the end of the boil, so the last 10 minutes or so. So should really get the aroma and kind of fruitiness from the beer and not too much of a hop burn. So let's give it a go. So if you watch my channel or any of my videos before, you'll know I primarily do extract brews. So this is no different. This is an extract brew. Of course, I did add some steeping grains. Those steeping grains are as follows. I added 540 grams or 1.2 pounds of English caramalt, 300 grams or 10.5 ounces of malted naked oats, and 100 grams or 4.2 ounces of carahels. The idea being with this is I just wanted to give the beer a bit more body and a bit more colour as well. For the water, I'm using bottled mineral water. I bought this from Lidl as the water in my area is very hard, and trust me, it doesn't taste too good in this style of beer. My steeping grains go in straight away, and I leave them until the water gets up around 76 Celsius or 170 Fahrenheit, which is around about 20 to 25 minutes. When removing the steeping grains, I tend to let it drain over a metal spoon and try not to burn my fingers too much, which too often happens. With the grains removed, it's time to get the water up to temperature. As I want a light looking beer, I'm using extra light dry malt extract from the malt miller. Around about 3 kilos or 6.6 pounds. The only problem with adding such a large amount is that it can be troublesome and it does clump. So you've got to make sure you stir it good and make sure it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. Usually for this, I'll turn the stove off, mix it in, and then turn the stove back on. Here's all the hops I'll be using. As you can see, I've separated them into two lovely heart-shaped bowls. One is the 5-minute edition and one is the flame out edition, because remember I said earlier we'll be using no bittering additions at all. The 5-minute edition is 113 grams or 4 ounces in total and consists of Mosaic, Callista, Idaho 7 and BRU-1. The Flame Out edition is 127 grams or 4.5 ounces in total and is the exact same as the above, but with the secret edition, which I'll keep to myself. Finally, the yeast for this one is WHC's Brexit. I've had this in my beer fridge for a while. It's getting close to its expiry date, so I thought it would probably be best to use it up, and it really should suit this beer. The blurb for this one states, and I quote, "Produces a fruit punch bowl aroma. Beers tend to have a silky smooth mouthfeel and juicy aroma when this yeast is used." Fingers crossed. Okay, so that's the beer done. We've pitched the yeast. Now we've just got to wait a week or two before we can keg it and give it a try. So let's just do a quick jump cut to the point where we're trying it. And we're back. It is just about 3.5 weeks later. Beard's growing a little. A little trim on the old hair, you know, looking fresh for you guys at home. And we're back, and we have the beer to taste. As you can see, it's turned out pretty nice. It's a kind of a darker, kind of amber colour, probably darker than I was expecting it, using those kind of light malt extract, but still a nice colour nonetheless. Pretty hazy, you can't really see through it, but a really nice kind of appearance. Kind of some head on it, not a massive amount of head, but some good carbonation there. This beer has been sat on the side for a couple of minutes while I set all this up, so obviously the head's going to go down, but yeah, there's still some good head retention there. Let's see what it is like on the nose. Okay. It's definitely fruity on the nose, that's for sure. I probably couldn't pinpoint an exact fruit in there because it is a medley, and with those hops you kind of, you know, come to expect it. There's two hops I'm not using there before, the Callista and the Idaho 7, and also those BRU-1s. So I'm not overly, you know, picking out individual fruits, but there's definitely a kind of a fruit medley in there for sure. Maybe if anything, you maybe get a bit of pineapple. And actually a bit of grapefruit comes through as well, but it's not particularly prominent. There is a real mixture of different fruits going on in there. Anyway, let's give it a taste. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Wow. Okay, in terms of the fruit flavours, I definitely got quite a strong hit of melon actually. That comes through quite a bit. Stone fruit as well, and then there's also that pineapple there. So it is a real medley of kind of those fruits. The one that sticks out for me is definitely the melon. There's also a kind of the bittering of a grapefruit in there as well, but it's not, considering we didn't use any bittering hops, it's not overly bitter. You can definitely taste a slight subtle kind of bitterness from, say, like a grapefruit in there for sure. Just trying to see if I notice anything else that comes through there. And the answer is probably no. It is, again, like I said, a proper fruit medley. One thing to note about this, where I've kind of made a mistake on this, is I've added a bit too much lactose sugar, so it is a little too sweet, and unfortunately I think that additional sweetness is kind of overpowering the flavour of those hops. You taste the sweetness more than you do anything else, which is a real shame, because I feel like if there wasn't that kind of lactose sugar in it, you'd probably taste the hops a lot cleaner and a lot fuller, and you'd probably get more of the flavours that the hops state. So I've kind of made a mistake there and kind of buggered that up. What I added was, originally I said, okay, you know, you read most places don't ever add more than 500 grams to any beer you make, because it makes it too sweet. And I just threw caution to the wind and went, it'd be fine, and I stuck like 800, 900 grams in there. Word to the wise, listen to folks who tell you and know better, because they're right. Me just being cocksure, I was like, yeah, whatever, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. So yeah, it is too sweet, unfortunately, and that kind of takes it away a bit from the beer, really. But because of that kind of lactose sugar, it is a lovely kind of full enveloping mouthfeel. It feels thick in the mouth, really thick. And I think that really kind of complements this style of beer. It's just a shame that that comes with a trade-off of being overly sweet. The finish on it is, let's try. The finish on it is a bit dry actually. It's drier than I thought it would be. It's not, you know, really, really dry, but it's kind of in that medium to dry kind of dry range for sure. Which is quite surprising, because given the lactose sugar and everything else, maybe it's not. I mean, we did add a lot of hops in there, so maybe it's not overly surprising. Yeah, overall, for a beer that's not been dry hopped, I think this has turned out pretty good. If I brewed it again, cut off the lactose sugar, I'd probably put in half. In fact, I'd probably go with about 250 grams of lactose, just to sweeten up a little, but not as much as this. This is just completely overkill. I think these hops would work great if you were doing a beer where you could dry hop. Unfortunately, with my current setup, that's not possible. I can't dry hop simply because of the oxygen getting in, and it kind of really ruins beers. I've tried probably 3, 4, maybe 5, yeah, different, that kind of New England style IPAs, and all of them have been oxygenated. The kind of beer ends up brown, and it tastes horrible. So until I get a system in place where I can brew beer where there's zero oxygen in, this is kind of what I'm looking at doing. I'm looking at adding kind of late additions and hardly any bittering hops. So yeah, I probably would brew this again, but definitely lay off the lactose sugar. Anyway guys, appreciate you watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I don't have a massive following, but I do appreciate any new followers, and obviously give us a thumbs up. Cheers guys.